I'm back. I left off where we got introduced to a new character named Nasco. Okay, awesome. So Nasco is, I believe, or I'm assuming, is the killer. Just a random killer that had killed um Dr. Weatherby. So we got a few details about him, Nasco, and I also left off where Travis and the dog were still running, scared for their lives, to be honest. But yeah, that's where I left off. The dog aggressively barking. Baby. Thank you. We're gonna leave off. I'm wasting time. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Tail. Tail. Where'd you? Trust tailgate. Ran past Travis to the driver's door and climbed into pickup's cab. When Travis peered inside, the retriever was in the passenger seat, looking straight ahead through the windshield. It turned to him and issued a soft woof, as if impatient with his dawdling. He got in behind the wheel, tucked the revolver under his seat. Don't believe I can take care of you. Too much responsibility, fella. Doesn't fit in with my plans. Sorry about that. The dog regarded him beseechingly. Beseechingly. That's a big word. Beseech. To ask or request something or you look hungry, boy. It wolfed once, softly. Okay, maybe I can help you that much. I think there's a Hershey's bar in the glove compartment, and there's a McDonald's not far from here, where they probably got a couple of hamburgers with your name on them. But after that, I'll either have to let you loose again or take you to the pound. Even as Travis was speaking, the dog raised one foreleg and hit the glove compartment release button with a paw. The lid fell open. What the hell? The dog leaned forward, put its snout into the open box, and withdrew the candy in its teeth, holding the bar so lightly that the wrapping was not punctured. Travis blinked in surprise. The retriever had forked held forth the Hershey's bar as if requesting that Travis unwrap the treat. Startled, he took the candy and peeled off the paper. The retriever watched, licking its lips, breaking the bar into pieces. Travis paid out the chocolate in morsels. The dog took them gratefully and ate almost daintily. So I'm assuming daintily means like finally, like in a rush, calmly, like excitedly. Is that a word? Travis watched in confusion, not certain if what had happened was truly extraordinary or had a reasonable explanation. Had the dog actually understood him when he had said he was that there was candy in the glove box, or had it detected the scent of chocolate? Surely the latter. To the dog, he said, "But how did you know how to press the button to pop the lid open?" It stared, licked its chops, and accepted a bit of candy. He said, "Okay, okay, so maybe that's a trick you've been taught, though. Though it's not the sort of thing anyone would ordinarily train a dog to do, is it? Roll over, play dead, sing for your supper, even walk on your hand a little ways. Yeah, there are things that dogs are trained to do, but they're not trained to open locks and latches." The retriever gazed longingly at the last morsel of chocolate, but Travis withheld the goodie for a moment. The timing, for God's sake, had been uncanny. 2 seconds after Travis had referred to the chocolate, the dog had gone for it. "Did you understand what I said?" Travis asked, feeling foolish for suspecting a dog of possessing language skills. Nevertheless, he repeated the question. Did you did you understand? Re- Reluctantly, the retriever raised its gaze from the last of the candy. Their eyes met. Again, Travis sensed that something uncanny was happening. He shivered, not unpleasantly, as before. He hesitated, cleared his throat. Would it be all right with you if I had the last piece of chocolate? The dog turned its eyes to the two small squares of the Hershey bar still in Travis's hand. It chopped once, as if with regret, then looked through the windshield. "I'll be damned," Travis said. The dog yawned, being careful not to move his hand, not holding the chocolate out, not calling attention to the chocolate in any manner except words. He addressed the big, tattered dog again. "Well, maybe you need it more than I do, boy. If you want it, the last bit's yours." Wait, I thought dogs can't eat chocolate. The retriever looked at him, still not moving his hand, keeping it close to his own body in a way that implied he was withholding the chocolate. He said, "If you want it, take it. Otherwise, I'll just throw it away." The retriever, shifting on the seat, leaned close to him and gently snatched the chocolate off his palm. "I'll be double damned," he said. The dog is smart. The dog rose onto all fours, standing on the seat, which brought its head almost to the ceiling. It looked through the back window of the cab and growled softly. Travis glanced at the rearview mirror, then at the side mounted mirror, but he saw nothing unusual behind him, just the two-lane blacktop, the narrow berm, the weed-covered hillside sloping down on the right side. "You think we should get moving? Is that it?" The dog looked at him, peered out the rear window, then turned and sat with its hind legs tucked to one side, facing forward again. Travis started the engine, put the truck in gear, pulled into Santiago Canyon Road, and headed north. Glancing at his companion, he said, "Are you really more than you appear to be, or am I just cracking up? And if you are more than you appear to be, what devil are you?" At the rural eastern end of Chapman Avenue, He turned west toward McDonald's, of which he's spoken. He said, "Can't turn you loose now, or take you to a pound." And a minute later, he said, "If I didn't keep you, I'd die of curiosity, wondering about you." They drove about 2 miles and swung into the McDonald's parking lot. Travis said, "So I guess you're my dog now." The retriever said nothing. Nora Devon, Chapter 2. I guess in part 1. Nora Devon was afraid of the television repairman, although he appeared to be about 30, her age. He had offensive cockiness of a know-it-all teenager. Da? Niko na som. Uh-uh. 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 Niko na som. Mm-hmm. Talvez. Basi ni masomo. Niko nasoma juu mimi nataka. Leo sijui juu sikuwa na simu jamani. Though he appeared to be about 30, her age, he had the offensive cockiness of a know-it-all teenager. When she answered the doorbell, he boldly looked her up and down as he identified himself. Art Schreck, Wadlow's TV, and when he met her eyes, he winked. He was tall and lean and well scrubbed, dressed in white uniform, slacks, and a shirt. He was clean shaven. His darkest blonde hair was cut short and neatly combed. He looked like my mother's son, not a rapist or a psycho. Yet Nora was instantly afraid of him, maybe because his boldness and cockiness seemed at odds with his appearance. "You need service?" he asked when she hesitated in the doorway. Although his question appeared innocent, the inflection he put on the word service seemed creepy and sexually suggestive to Nora. She did not think she was overreacting, but she had called Wadlow TV after all, and she could not turn Strike away without explanation. An explanation would probably lead to an argument, and not an she was not a confrontational person, so she let him inside. As she escorted him along the wide, cool hallway to the living room arch, she had that uneasy feeling that his good grooming and big smile were elements of a carefully calculated disguise. He had a keen animal watchfulness, a coiled tension that further disquieted her with every step they took away from the front door, following her much too closely, virtually looming over her. From behind, Arstrex said, "You've got a nice house here, Miss Devon. Very nice. I really like it." "Thank you," she said stiffly, not bothered to correct his misapprehension of her marital status. "A man could be happy here." "Yeah, a man could be very happy." The house was of that style of architecture sometimes called Old Santa Barbara Spanish. 2 stories, cream colored stucco with a red tile roof. Verandas, balconies, all softly rounded lines instead of squared off corners. Lush red bougainvillea climbed the north face of the structure, dripping bright blossoms. The place was beautiful. Nora hated it. She had lived there since she was only 2 years old, which now added up to 28 years. And during all but one of them, she had been under the iron thumb of her aunt Violet. Hers had not been a happy childhood, or today a happy life. Violet Devon had died a year ago, but in truth, Nora was still oppressed by her aunt, for the memory of that hateful old woman was formidable, stifling. In the living room, putting his repair kit beside the Magnavox, Streck paused to look around. He was clearly surprised by the decor. The flower, the flowered wallpaper was dark, fun real. The Persian carpet was singularly unattractive. The color scheme, gray, maroon, royal blue, was unenlivened by a few touches of faded yellow. Heavy English furniture from the mid 19th century, trimmed with deeply carved molding, stood on trimmed with clawed feet, massive armchairs, footstools, cabinets suitable for Dr. Caligari, credenzas that looked as if they each weighed half a ton. Small tables were taped with a weighty brocade. Some lamps were pewter with pale gray shades, and others had maroon ceramic bases, but none too much light. The drapes looked as heavy as lead. Aged yellow shears hung between the side panels, permitting only a mustard colored drizzle of sunlight to enter the room. None of it complemented the Spanish architecture. Violet had willfully imposed her ponderous bad taste upon the graceful house. You decorate? Ostrich asked. No, my aunt, Nora said. She stood by the marble fireplace, almost as far from him as she could without leaving the room. This was her place. I inherited it. If I was you, he said, I'd heave all this stuff out of here. Could be a bright, cheery room. Pardon my saying so, but this isn't you. This might be all right for someone's maiden aunt. She was a maiden aunt, huh? Yeah, thought so. Might be all right for a dried up maiden aunt, but definitely not for a pretty lady like yourself.